The Capitol is called the Capitol because it's the name of the temple of Jupiter in Rome.
Huh.
And I always thought you called the Capitol because that's where that's what you just call the Capitol.
Right. It's spelled O-L.
But right, it's
How
not.
many of you ever wondered why it wasn't A-L?
I have.
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah,
wondered
me too.
that.
It's because the temple of Jupiter in Rome was the Capitolium, the temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus in Rome. And the reason it's called the Capitol was in 1799 when it was being built. The architect wanted to call it Congress House. It's where Congress is going to meet. We'll call it Congress House. Jefferson said, no, it must be the Capitol. In 1799, there was only one building on Earth where a legislative group met in a building called the Capitol, and that was in Williamsburg, Virginia, Thomas Jefferson's home state. Now, the Capitol in Rome, why is it called the Capitol? Why was it the Capitolium? Because when they were excavating to build the foundation for this temple around 526 BC, they excavated a severed head. They found a well-preserved severed head.
Wow.
Now, the king of Rome at this time, this is before Rome became a republic, was an Etruscan, and apparently to the Etruscans, you used severed heads to communicate with the spirits of the dead. It was considered a good omen. Hey, Rome is going to be awesome.
Wow.
So they changed the name of the hill on which the Temple of Jupiter was being built from Mons Saturnus, the Mount of Saturn, and they moved the Temple of Saturn from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill and built the Temple of Jupiter on top and called it the Capitolium.
In other words, they put Saturn down into Tartarus, down at the bottom of the hill, and they had the new king of the pantheon, Zeus, up on top.
Yeah, and now here's the other thing that'll blow your mind is that Jesus, twice in the New Testament, identified this entity as Satan.
Zeus.
Jupiter is Zeus, okay, same God, different name. He's also Baal, the storm god, king of the pantheon. Same entity by different names. In Matthew 12, verses 22 through 26, when Jesus is accused of casting out demons by the power of Beelzebul, which means Baal the prince, Jesus says, if Satan casts out demons by his own power, Satan is Baal. How will his kingdom stand? And then in Revelation 2, he's the letter to the church at Pergamum, he says, I know where you live. It's where Satan dwells. Well, that's a reference to the great altar of Zeus. Jupiter, Zeus, Baal, same entity. The United States Capitol, our Congress meets in a building called the Temple of Democracy, named for a temple of Satan.
Wow.
And on December 25 of 2020, when Jupiter and Saturn got together in the 21st, yeah, sorry, on the winter solstice. When they got together, it was like a picture of Satan
Yes,
meeting with Shemyaza
yes,
and making a plan.
right.
Now's our time. Let's go take over the world.
And again, New Agers and occultists who are looking for this golden age when this old entity, Kronos, Saturn, ruled the earth, in other words, the pre-flood era, that's what they want to bring back. And that is what they're working
really
for.
connect those events at the Capitol on January 6th to the return of Saturn. How do these pieces really fit together? I want people to understand what you're just not saying something off the top of your head,
No.
but you guys really believe this stuff.
Yes, we do.
And I think God's trying to wake his church up.
Yeah.
And we've gotten so, what is it?
Complacent?
Yeah, that we don't even see the mighty signs that are all around us, and
We
that's what I'm
don't.
trying to bring to the world.
We don't. And for those of you who are sitting there thinking, well, how does this affect me? At the very least, it means that we are very, very, very close to the return of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because the enemy knows a little bit about timing, knows the Bible better than we do.
Right.
And so the enemy is saying, now is our time. And their plan is to try to prevent the return of Jesus Christ.
Right.